Hi, I'm Brigham Larson with Brigham Larson Pianos, and the purpose of this video is to talk about the transformation that I personally underwent in rethinking the origin of pianos, particularly Chinese origin. I've been a piano technician since 1995, and by 2010, my thoughts on Chinese pianos were what I thought fairly set in stone. I believed that there must have been something wrong with the Chinese, because all of these pianos that I had seen that were manufactured in the 80s or 90s were mediocre at best, and often even below that. And I was convinced that I would never believe in a Chinese piano, much less wholeheartedly endorse one. And how things have changed for me, and for very good reason. So I thought my mind was closed. I thought my mind was made up. But based on what I was reading and what I was hearing, people that I really respected nationwide in the industry, reading websites and the piano guide, I was at least open to give it a shot. And what I found, I was very pleasantly surprised with the quality of construction, manufacture, and here we are now, many years later, after that 2010 initial introduction for me, and I've been nothing but impressed with how these pianos have endured. They are phenomenal pianos. So, where is the difference? How did that happen? How is it possible that pianos coming out of China in the 80s and 90s and even early 2000s were so subpar in quality, and now some manufacturers coming out of China are actually not only respectable but really, really good? So here's how that happened. It's a combination of things. The dissemination of information, computerization, and globalization. So starting with information, it used to be definitely more than 100 years ago in the piano industry that everybody kind of had their own secret sauce, I guess, and trade secrets were very important, and every piano manufacturer did things so dramatically differently, and things were very hush-hush amongst manufacturers. Well, as the information age and the digital age have proven in every industry, information really has very few limits, and so information is really available for most anyone, and so that's kind of that lays the foundation. Then you've got computerization, where again pianos used to be manufacturers would be reliant on that one bridge notcher who's been doing it all day, every day for 30 years, and he knows how to notch bridges great, or that soundboard guy, or the action guy, or whatever it happens to be. Whereas with computerization, you can realize the designs of the designer, the blueprints, with precision. And some manufacturers like to highlight handwork, and there are maybe a few areas where handwork is appropriate, but in manufacture, the vast majority, computers really do things perfectly. When I visited the factory in 2013, what I saw was, well, I saw lots of machines doing lots of parts that I never thought would have been even possible for a machine to do, that of course for generations are only done by hand. And I saw it happening perfectly and efficiently. For example, putting pins in the, why don't you come get a shot over here, putting pins in the bridge. Absolute precision. What I saw as a machine putting in these bridge pins right here are about that long. It was shooting them in about 1 a second, which to do that by hand obviously would be much, much longer, much less efficient, and of course more expensive. And frankly, less precise as well. And I've rebuilt many pianos that where I've seen the effects of that kind of imprecision. And it's not just cosmetic; it also dramatically affects the overall finished product. It's not just the bridge; it's everywhere. Okay, so that's computerization. Then you have globalization. It used to be that piano manufacturers were really kind of relegated to materials and parts that they could find locally in their market. And with globalization, which I guess started kind of in the 1950s, took off in a big way in the 1970s, and was really globalization. It's by the 90s and early 2000s, it was pretty much just as economical to get your wood from this particular location, your brass from that location, and so kind of the world becomes your grocery store, where you can just pick a la carte every type of material, every type of part that absolutely suits the vision of the designer. Okay, so that kind of sets the stage. Particular to Hailun, how has Hailun done it? They've essentially been a marriage between East and West. So Hailun, that's actually his first name, the owner of the piano manufacturing company. Hailun Chen, or Chen Hailun, is his name, which, starting off, that I think speaks volumes as to the pride with which he puts into it. This is not some Chinese manufacturer that just bought some German-sounding name to slap on there to kind of lend credibility, some of the German magical stardust. But he personally, this is his baby, and he takes it absolutely to heart, something that he's putting his name on. So that sets the stage for Hailun as a manufacturer. Then what he's done is he's taken what the West does best. His four main designers are three Europeans and one American guy that he's had come in and that have done all the blueprints, all of the visionary kind of work, determining the scaling design, determining the type of parts, determining all of the tolerances and all of the specs, really just all of the blueprints of the piano. These are all four of these designers are guys that have been in the industry forever and really are at the top of their game. And Mr. Chen spared no expense on getting these designers to design for him. Two of which I've met, and they're phenomenal. Their brains are. I wish I could download their knowledge. Incredible minds. So that's what the West does best, and what the East does best is efficiency. Taking those designs that the West has created and realizing them as a product very quickly, very efficiently, very cheaply.